So vault also is very self-explanatory this time. Go through it anyway. Up on the table, for a beginner, they can use the springboard to jump up onto the table. Then they're going to jump off the table onto the resi, and the resi will be a little bit lower than the table. So they're going to try and jump off to SLP that way. It'll be kind of difficult since it is squishy, so that's the point. Onto the table for intermediate. They're going to jump up. Okay, same thing. They can crawl, they can jump, whatever. If they're going to run and jump, make sure that it's not past this little duct tape line here on the floor, because there will be a station right behind them and it doesn't need to get chaotic. And they'll kick to a handstand on the table. So you need to make sure that they're back far enough on the table that their hands can go on the end of the table, and they're going to try and flat back onto the resi. And then intermediate, they're going to round off of the table onto the resi. So then same thing, they can jump up, they can do whatever you would like them to do going onto the table. And then they're going to round off. So they're start at the back, hands go on the table, their feet will land on the resi. You're welcome to have them fall back to imitate what that vault would be like if you feel necessary. Then this next one, over here with the ball, for a beginner, they're going to step down off of this box. Okay, so they'll have the ball in their hand above their head. They're going to jump 2 feet on the springboard and then throw the ball at the wall. If they throw it in the right spot, always encourage them to try and catch it. And it wasn't a problem because they thought about throwing it up high enough to where when it bounced, it would just drop right back to them. Some of them like to throw it really hard, so make sure that they are aware that there's stuff going on behind them on the floor, and that if the ball rolls over that way, that's going to cause an accident, so they need to be careful with how hard they throw it. For intermediate, same thing. And then for advanced, they're going to do the same thing, except they're going to hold a weighted ball, and they're not going to jump off or anything like that. So they'll hold the weighted ball, they'll step off of the mat still onto the springboard, and it'll just punch in place. Okay, working on having them tight in one spot and not flying forwards or backwards. All the way down on the end, there is an 8-incher. Beginners will start up against the wall, kind of like I have behind me. Okay, they'll push off the wall, arms will go to their ears, and they'll fall to their belly. So it's like reaching for the box or for the vault table. Same thing for intermediate. If you want to, you can have them start with one foot and then they put their foot down as their arms go up, because it would be almost the same thing. Then for advanced, there will be an octagon over there, or you're welcome to take one of them on an event that no one is using. But they'll push off the wall, reach over the octagon, hit a handstand, and fall to their back. That one you may need to turn the 8-incher just in case, or move it down. That way they don't slam into the bar. Everybody's doing donkey kicks on the mini tramp and the big box. Advanced goes from a medium box, so they'll jump down, jump to handstand. Everybody else just donkey kicks. Intermediate, remember they have to be above horizontal almost to handstand, and beginner only has to be around horizontal at least. So this one behind me, right here, there's a wedge against the wall. Beginners, all they're going to do is kick up to a handstand and hit the wall tightly. Intermediates, they're going to set this down, so remember to turn this. You can turn it sideways if you need to, or it can go this way. Okay, in that case, make sure nobody is running right here, and all they do is jump up. They're going to kick to a handstand in front of the wedge mat, and then they're going to fall to their back. So the wedge mat will then be down like so. Okay, not in this exact spot, obviously, but they'll kick to a handstand in front of the mat on this side, and if they fall tightly, their hands will just slide off the floor, and they'll land flat back. And then same thing for advanced. They're just going to try and handstand hop in front of it, and then fall. But you're welcome to also do the panel mat hopping station if they're not quite ready for hopping and then falling at the same time. But that's totally up to your discretion. Last but not least is the hurdle one. I'm going to explain that one a bit. We had a lot of really good results with this one, just because it teaches kids when to drop their arms and when to bring them back up, so on and so forth. So for beginner, all we really do is it will go behind them. So we have them point to where they want to go, which is forward. They'll go all the way around and then drop it, and then jump feet together. Okay? Then, the furthest they should go if they're ready for it is doing it at the same time. So foot points where you want to go, you go behind, and you drop. Okay? So then intermediate, all you do is add on from there. Okay, go from wherever they start at and try and progress one further than that within the 2 weeks. So most of the time they're already to the point where they drop it and jump at the same time. So when they drop it and they jump, you can have them straight jump, so on and so forth. So that one is really about making sure they understand what happens when and how and what coordinates with one another. And this is just a physical thing to help them get them all the way around and understand that it goes behind and so on.